Hey Core fam, this is Nikachu, generally Merfolk Master, but today we've got a Dono deck. Dono by Vionix wants to know what has to be done to put Core on the map. We have so many good Core cards. Core, I mean, we've got like the huge modern staples like Giver of Runes, Stoneforge Mystic, and Skyclave Apparition are Core cards, not to mention some sideboard hosers like Core Firewalker. Can them all combined make a tribal deck that can compete in the modern metagame? Let's go find out. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Before we get into a deck tech, we are going to thank our sponsor, starting with FusionGamingOnline.com. Basically, my one-stop shop for all my paper Magic needs. You can support the channel using my coupon code Nikachu at checkout. Lets them know I sent you there, and it gets you 5% off all your purchases. We're also going to thank Mana Traders, the premier place to rent Magic cards online, and basically the only way that I can play all sorts of wacky decks like this. Support the channel by using my Mana Traders link in the description below, or save 15% off your first 3 months using my coupon code Nikachu. Yeah, so I mean, this is one of the more original tribal decks people have proposed to me, just because we've got, like, I don't know if anyone's ever really tried to deeply explore Core, and there is like it's got like the soul of Death and Taxes already, right? We've got Core, like Giver of Runes for a Core card. We've got Stoneforge Mystic. We've got Skyclave Apparition. So we've got, because of Stoneforge Mystic, we have access to swords, Maul of the Skyclaves for some for evasion, but also Batterskull, which is like literally good against almost anything. But it's got some really cool additions that maybe not every deck gets, and something like Core Firewalker, huge card right now, very good against burn, very good against prowess, is going to be pretty resistant even against Death Shadow decks. The 2/2 pro red, whenever a player casts a red spell, you gain 1 life. That's going to be really damn useful. Now, we look at some other additions to this deck. I think this is a pretty nice one. Clave Cleric. It's a 2-mana 1/3 ETB, gain 2 life, but it also acts like a land. So we can up our land count, which is going to be important for casting and equipping our swords in the later portions of the game, or even equipping our Batterskull. We see Death and Taxes decks. They play like 23 lands for Aether Vial. They're heavy on the lands. So we get to play creatures that come in the form of lands, but here's the kicker. We get to play creatures that come in the form of lands, also gain life, good against Death Shadow, because you got to keep your life total at 20 to kill that Scourge of the Skyclaves. Also a decent blocker early in the game versus Prowess deck. So if they want to kill it, they got to unload multiple spells, or shoot this thing itself, which is also going to save you life. But we can recycle it from the battlefield with Core Skyfisher. It's a 2/3 with flying, which is a pretty good body. Now the downside is that when it enters the battlefield, you have to return a permanent you control to its owner's hand. The vast majority of decks can't make a good use out of this. There's a lot of cards that where ETB bounce something back to your hand, but I don't think it's as good as this, a 2/3 flyer. And I think this is the type of deck, especially with Aether Vial, that we can recycle some cards and get more value out of it, or even surprise, save a creature. Although I do not want to use that by default. It can be used to sort of counter a removal spell with an Aether Vial on 2. So if they play Fatal Push on our Core Firewalker, you flash in the Core Skyfisher, save it. I don't think that should be the default use of this card. I think it should be to get more value out of the cards that have ETBs, like Skyclave Cleric, or bouncing it, taking it back as a land, replaying it as a creature. Then we got Stoneforge Mystic, get more equipment, bring back your Skyclave Apparition, replay the thing, exile more cards. Sure, you get the illusion token. I don't care. I'm going to be removing much more important cards on the battlefield. And in some case, we might even bounce something like Relief Captain. So Relief Captain is sort of at the top end of our curve. 4 mana for a 3/2 creature, but you get to put a +1/+1 counter on each of up to 3 other target creatures. So we get to buff up some other stuff. Yeah, really neat synergy with this deck. I'm really curious to know how well Core Skyfisher is going to work. Mikey J, thank you very much for the subscription. 10 months with Prime. Mikey J, I think you've been here since the beginning. I'm really close to my anniversary for being on Twitch. I can't believe it's almost been a year. You people with your subs are reminding me how long I've been doing this. Okay, what else do we have? We have Clave Cleric as a random filler for like our 1-drops, so you can play a 1/1 creature with flying, get in some early damage, but also later in the game might be important. When it enters the battlefield, if it was kicked, tap up to 2 target creatures. So when we have 4 mana, we can perhaps clear the way for our creatures. For the most part, we don't have a lot of evasion. We're going to be stuck on the ground, just like Death and Taxes usually has that problem. But we do have a decent chunk of flyers. So first off, we do have some pro red, which means against red decks, we're going to have unblockable damage. We can chip away in the air with Core Skyfisher. We have access to Stoneforge Mystic to get all of the Skyclaves, which will turn a creature into like a good evasive threat, clocking our opponent for a few turns before killing them. In the late game, we could play Winds of Abandon. So if there's a board stall on the battlefield, we play Winds of Abandon, blow our opponent's board out of the water, and basically attack from there. What else do we have for evasion? These two complement each other, the two swords. We have Sword of Light and Shadow, pro-white, pro-black, and also Sword of Fire and Ice, pro-red, pro-blue. So basically, against almost every deck, we'll have a sword to get in unblockable damage. 2 Path to Exile. What else? I think that's it, basically. We have 3 Cavernous Souls, 4 Mutavaults, 6 Snow-Covered Plains, 3 Horizon Lands, and some Sheffet Dunes to buff up our team if necessary. And pretty good sideboard, another Core Firewalker, and look at Devout Lightcaster. A little harsh on the mana cost, but it's a 2/2 pro-black creature, ETB, exile target black, permanent. And it's permanent. So, I mean, I could exile, for example, Liliana the Veil, not just try to exile Death Shadows or Scourges of the Skyclaves. So this has multiple application to a variety of decks. I mean, Jund is coming back here, people. Jund is a big deck. Devout Lightcaster being able to exile Liliana the Veil might be useful. Might be useful. So I'll be very curious to know how well Core is going to do here. I should also mention we do have Metallic Mimic to help buff up the rest of our team. If we go Metallic Mimic into, say, Core Skyfisher, that might actually be a big deal because a 3/4 creature is nothing to laugh at. And even like a 2/4 Clave Cleric is actually going to stone block shitloads of creatures in Modern. So we're going to put up a good, sometimes a good offense starts with a good defense. What else? We have Pithing Needle, Damping Sphere for Tron and Amulet, 2 Disenchant. We don't want to have too many things at 1 mana because we're playing with Chalice of the Void, which is just going to be good against Death Shadow, Prowess decks, Burn, etc. And 2 Containment Priest, which if a non-token creature would enter the battlefield and it wasn't cast, exile it instead, which will be useful. I mean, it will just be useful in general against graveyard decks, and doesn't get tripped up by Chalice of the Void. A bit of a non-bow with our Ether Vault, but shouldn't be that big of a deal. So, is this going to be amazing? Let's go find out. Let's get into our Modern League. I think we're up against a content creator. The name is familiar. Yeah, Fire Design started just a little too late for the Merfolk players. Well, I'm going to keep this, but it's not a good hand. This could just end up like ramping our opponent like crazy. We're on the draw, so hopefully I can draw like a 2-drop in between the time I play this Relief Captain. Arbor Elf. We have nothing for that. Well, I mean, it might be worth Path to Exiling, I guess. Holy crap, we just drew all our removal. JLT subscribing for 9 months with Prime. Thank you very much, JLT. Yeah, Willie Hall's here. Welcome, Willie Hall. Well, that has no power here. Our opponent's mana screwed. That makes everything so awkward. Okay, so it's Heliod Company. I don't want to exile anything just yet because I don't want to give my opponent actual mana. We do have like pretty good tools. Well, Winds of Abandon might not be that great, but I mean it's better than nothing. No, we can't exile Heliod. We can only exile Heliod needs to be turned into a creature, so the devotion needs to be high enough so that we exile Heliod. maybe it'll be the case. Maybe it won't. Hey, look at that. A core friend. Sure. I wasn't even using it. Interesting exchange. Okay, I'll keep my stuff on the board, though. Another metallic mimic. This core are going to be huge. I think next time when they attack, I'm just going to Path to Exile the Skyclave Apparition, get the Ether Vial, and block this Auriok Champion. Okay, I'm just going to take the damage for the moment. Okay, so they're going to set up like a, what's it called? They're setting up Collected Company. Come on, 2-drop. That's a 2-drop, but I'm a little choked on the mana now. Now I'm wondering if all these Mutavaults are worth it, because I do have, well, I only have some Path to Exiles. Not a lot. This core Firewalker is going to be so big, though. So what I'm thinking in my head is like, do I just play this core Firewalker and hope for the best? Because they're just going to Collected Company, and they could Collected Company into the combo. Like, that is a possibility here. Or I can Winds of Abandon this thing and just wait a little bit. And I have Path to Exile just in case they have the combo on hand. But it's going to be tough. I mean, actually, no, I lose anyway, right? So I have to, like, get rid of this stupid Auriok Champion right now. Because if they find Heliod Spike Feeder, I just lose. Because there'll be triggers on the stack with Spike Feeder and Heliod, because like they would have gained life. You know what, I'm gonna be a little bit you clearly have Collected Company. Okay, I'm just gonna pass. I know they have 4 Devotion to White right now, but it's still too risky. Like I can't Path heal it in response. In response, they just go for infinite life is my problem. Or maybe not. Like, they didn't gain the life yet. The creature's ETB trigger would happen. Then I could... No, but then I can't Path heal it in response, because then in response, they just gain infinite life. That's only if they find Heliod and Spike Feeder at the same time. They found half. True story, it's not actually going to be infinite life, but it's going to be effectively infinite life. So we can't beat it anyway. Okay, that's interesting. So Heliod online, sort of. Okay, we'll get rid of this pest. You did this to yourself. You did it to yourself. You could have basically won, well, not exactly win the game. Okay, that's interesting. Because now, if we can curve out for Winds of Abandon, I mean, we'll just slaughter them. So what's the deal? If one or more counters are put onto a creature you control, that many +1/+1 counters on it instead, and you can remove. For 2 mana, you can move counters, but you can't do that right now. Not that I see. Okay, so let's, I'll make 1 chump block just to save life. And maybe I should have chump blocked that one because these, when they start moving counters to each other, it's just going to get really big. So this sounds dumb, but I just want to... Actually, maybe I should just exile the stupid Spike Feeder right now. Somehow we're they're holding the fort. Because they can't move any of the counters. Because once they start moving the counters, they'll just be fucking enormous. And they can move counters. Can they move counters? No, they can't move anything back. That's right. Heliod flew too close to the sun. I gotta keep this thing around so that my core firewalkers are 3/3s. I'll chump block with the illusion. Alright, you have a lot of mana. What shall thee do with it? Hopefully not a walking ballista. That'd be a disaster. Ranger Captain. Well, that's gonna find a walking ballista, which will be a disaster. Not useful this turn, but will be very useful next turn. And also will just get big... Well, I mean, actually, no. They could just go for it right now. It's like a 4/4 Ballista because of the Conclave Mentors. Yep. Strangely enough, our hand was a bit clunky in this game. This is a great card, but this is a bit too late. We'll just go get a Batterskull. Batterskull. I'm stuck at 3 lands. And these are the 3 lands we started with at the beginning of the game. If we could get that 4th land for this Relief Captain, who knows what would have happened? Who knows? Another healer. Okay, we're lost. Okay, what do we want in this matchup? Maybe some Containment Priests. That will shut down... I think it just shuts down Collected Company. Disenchant. Blows up just Utopia Sprawl. Okay, Pithing Needle for sure. Okay, we'll bring in Containment Priest. It's probably better than... this is fine. This is fine. Fine. This is fine. Probably don't want Core Firewalker in this matchup. And I need to take out 2 more cards. Maybe this is not that good. Everything else looks good. Everything else looks fine. Submit. So we can play Pithing Needle. It can name Walking Ballista, Spike Feeder. Either one. This is awkward. Sounds actually super awkward. It's like super heavy on the equipment side and nothing on anything else. So like turn 1, Clave Cleric. Turn 2... Maybe Needle. I think I'm going to mulligan this. This is just too clunky for this matchup. That is just way too clunky. This is better. I accept this. Have to put one card back down. This is red and blue. This might be too clunky, given the position right now. I'm gonna wait it. I think I'm gonna wait a turn on this Pithing Needle. Actually, well, maybe Disenchant was more worth it than I thought. But I mean, you could say that with like any. You could add. You know what? I'm gonna say against that. You could say the same about Path to Exile. So Pithing Needle. I mean, okay. Well, I'm gonna pass. If they play Arbor Elf, I might play Pithing Needle on it. Maybe Disenchant's better than the Kite Sail card. One way or another, this is going to be a bad matchup because we're just a creature-based deck versus a combo deck. A creature combo deck, and we have, well, I don't know, maybe we have more interaction than I think. Because we have Path to Exile, we have Winds of Abandon, we have Skyclave Apparition. Like, these are all good cards. Excellent, excellent. Do you have a land? This is doing some work either way. It's a huge risk, though. Oh, they do have a land. I can play Sword of Fire and Ice. I don't really want to play Skyclave Apparition. Sword seems to be the most mana efficient thing to do. Next turn I could place a Containment Priest and then equip the sword to it. Still can't play Coco. The cool thing about Skyclave Apparition is that, I mean, if they play, say, Heliod, I can just exile it. The Ranger! So I'll just play Containment Priest right now, equip. Get out of range of dying to, what's it called? Walking Ballista. And it's also just a decent creature on the battlefield. So our swords don't have pro-green. That's unfortunate. Okay, so they have their own Skyclave Apparition. They opt to go for Sword of Fire and Ice. Just take 2 damage. Oh, sorry, 3. Interesting, interesting. This has pro-white. And they're stuck on 3 mana, so they don't have, what's it called, up yet. Okay, I'm gonna try... But actually, this sword is actually quite crappier in this situation. I mean, it gives me pro-white and black, but... the gain 3 life, returning target creature cards from my graveyard to my hand is not really relevant here. But I can still hold up Path to Exile. I'm just gonna hope my opponent doesn't find a Walking Ballista. If they do, I mean, I can still Path the Skyclave block Ranger Captain. Yeah, 4 Devotion again. Planes on this stream again. So we're gonna get our token, and I will attempt to block this stupid thing. So I don't want to take any more damage. Sure. And we can Skyclave that. Land. Sweet. That's a good land. Actually, cancel. What am I doing? Give me life. There's nothing to get, right? You have 1 target creature card from your graveyard to your hand. This is a very poor sword in this situation. People are on the exiling plans these days. Okay, so now if the Walking Ballista comes down, shoots the Skyclave Apparition to death, maybe we can get in with Sword of Light and Shadow. Well, maybe, I guess we can't get in with Sword of Light and Shadow. I'm hoping we're screwing over... Oh, another walk... Ooh, okay, so now our opponent's just 1 mana away from beating us. Okay, what can help us here? Too bad there wasn't a Pithing Needle equipment that we can get. Okay, we're down. No, I don't want to really play Stone. Okay, so I can get Sword of Fire and Ice. I can get Maul of the Skyclaves. I can get Batter Skull. Unfortunately, nothing gives me pro green. So Containment Priest is not unstoppable. I don't really want to attack with both of these because the Arbor Elves might just double block the Skyclave, so I'll just attack with Containment Priest right now. Maul gives flying. Yeah, so I'm going to have to go get Maul. Actually, maybe I should have attacked with the Mutavault as well. Because I'm not using the mana this turn anyway. And pass. Because I could have attacked with Mutavault there. Okay, we're lost. We're lost, right? Yes, we are lost. All right, moving on. Not a good matchup. Is not going to be any creature-based matchup against a creature combo deck like this. Not going to be good because we need to have an outrageously fast clock while still being very interactive. Although I would say, you know, because we have the Path to Exiles and the Skyclave Apparitions and the Winds of Abandon, it's actually a lot closer than I thought it would be. Like I would not think I should have this much game. But I had a lot more game than I thought I did. But still, it's always these matchups are always going to be poor when it's like a creature tribal deck versus literally a creature combo deck like this that can just like keep threaten combo after combo over and over again. Okay, well, that was round 1. Let's move on to round 2. I think we drew I think we had a good balance of stuff. It wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad at all. It's going over my mind, like, what if we had Sword of Feast and Famine in that game? Pro green might have made a big difference. What I like about Sword of Feast and Famine is that you get to untap your lands. You can basically have a second turn. Yeah, they drew 2 Heliod without Coco. And they probably had Coco. Well, I don't know if they had Coco in hand, but there was like a turn they basically didn't do anything. No, that's not true. They played Heliod into Heliod. Even though we lost that matchup, I thought the deck performed relatively well. And we were choked on mana in game 1. And remember, that's a bad matchup. Like, we should get dumpstered anyway, but I think we pulled up much more of a fight than I would have, like, way more of a fight than I would have had if I played Merfolk. Let's go. Why is Sunday so slow? Usually I'm like, I can get these games firing nonstop. And now all of a sudden, like, is there just like a million challenges and events going on right now? Is anyone hey, how many people play MTG Arena on their phone at the moment? Like, I tried to do it. I'm now actually playing a little bit on my phone. And therefore, I might be a little bit more, what's it called? In tune with what's going to be going on in Historic. The last match I played in Historic on my phone, I was up against, like, it was like Sultai Uro minus the Uro. This hand is super premium. This is great. Haunted Machine says, just downloaded, but I haven't played because I have no cards on Arena. Yeah, I got my account info. You know what it was? I bet a lot of people are... did I win the die roll? I did not. We're going to keep this. I got the password fix email, like the change password email. I just got it like super slow, like ridiculously slow. Like I was able to contact customer support and get a reply back for them before like the password email got to me. So I did get a response, like, and once the email came up, it was easy. There was no problems there. We're going to play the Plains first, not to reveal that we're a core deck. Not sure what they're thinking with Historic. Now, Rakdos has Death Shadow, Scourge, Thoughtseize, Inquisition, Dreadhorde, Pyro, and Lurrus as a companion. That's right. That's because MTG Arena is supposed to be Legacy. You know, a lot of people kept telling me, oh, this is Pioneer. You know, Pioneer this, Pioneer that. Why would anyone play Pioneer when you'd play Historic? But the point is, like, Historic is supposed to be Legacy, and it's going to have all the big powerful cards in the long run. I have to play this now if I want to save life. I think we're up against Mardu, which is fine. Or is there any other valuable thing I can do this turn? No, okay, let's just do the classic jam. I'm just like a bit paranoid playing Stoneforge Mystic and then they Thoughtseize my... Because it looks like a Pyromancer deck. They Thoughtseize my Batterskull out of my hand, which is annoying. And if I just take a turn off, I can perhaps protect at least my Stoneforge Mystic. Yeah, it's now Pioneer Legacy-esque right now, but it's gonna be like full-blown Legacy eventually. It's gonna be much heavier on the Legacy side. You know, in Interaction, I wasn't thinking about during the deck tech. I could get to 4 lands and then just bounce one of the lands back to my hand and replay it as my 5th land to cast Batterskull. That would work. Lingering Souls and Kroxa. Just pass. Setting up that defense. We'll get that Batterskull out in no time. Can they put reserve list cards onto Arena? Yes. I mean, the same way they have reserve list cards on Magic the Gathering Online. They just can't print reserve list cards. They can make as many digital versions as they want. Surprise! Oh, you thought you were gonna snipe off my little giver of runes, did you? Well, we're gonna go protect. Actually, in response, I should give this thing pro red. Can I, in response? Okay, I'm gonna give this pro red. Yeah, basically. I guess I could have given this pro red. Can this thing bounce itself? When Core Skyfisher enters the battlefield, return a permanent, so you can return itself over and over again. Boop! Didn't see that one coming now, did you? Ether Vial I'm not thrilled about. I just need an actual land to cast this Batterskull. Well, we might as well get in the air. I'm gonna keep this in my hand for Kroxa if it comes down next turn. Like fetch into Kroxa, I just have something to discard because I don't want to discard Batterskull or the Winds of Abandon. It's literally core tribal, that's correct. Wow, this thing is such a danger to the opponent's strategy. Unfortunately, we cannot back it up again. They're actually going to ramp us into Batterskull though, so that's actually a plus. Maybe they have Kolaghan's Command waiting for us, I don't know. Are we getting to 6 mana for wins? I mean, if we can, I will. We give our opponent like a ton of lands, but whatever, not a big deal. Still no attack. Okay, let's get this. I mean, Batterskull is gonna be pretty good for the most part. Especially if we equip it to the Skyfisher. Oh, I can't attack with... Well, I guess I can attack with the Skyfisher. Sure, we're the... I think we're the aggro deck anyway. You bolt this? Okay, fine. Kolaghan's Command! Yeah, ramp us into wins too. I mean, that would just be absolutely delicious to just wipe their entire board. And they may not even, I mean, it's a 3-color deck, so they'll have probably like, I don't know, 3 more basic lands to get from their deck, and then that's it. And then after that, all these exile effects are just gravy. Okay, I will probably tick up my Ether Vial. Oh, this is fucking amazing in this matchup. Okay, so let's just attack with the germ token. Can they activate this? Need black, white, 2/3 with lifelink. Whatever. I mean, I can equip this to Sky Clave Cleric later. Good luck with those lightning bolts now. Also, this attacks straight through the Seasoned Pyromancer. Not through the Shambling Vent, but still through something. This looks like Kolaghan's Command. Oh, Kai's Guile. Each opponent sacrifices a creature. Create a 1/1 Spirit token. I mean, I can just sack this. This is not that big of a deal. It's pretty poor Kai's Guile. There's 2 Core Firewalkers main. And there's 1 in the sideboard. Our opponent, I think, is mana screwed to cast this... I think our opponent's mana screwed to cast their Kroxa. I'm going to keep the Scion Clearing on the board. I mean, either I get the land, and then I can crack Scion Clearing, or... Oh, we get one of these. That's not a problem. All right, let's attack again for 4. And now I see they don't actually want to use their Shambling Vent. Because if they do, they'll lose the mana to play their Kroxa. Yes, Cactus of Ishmok. This is the weirdest of all the... What the hell is this? Okay, sure. No big deal. What a fake attack. I'll be ready next turn. And now this thing is hard to block. Like nothing can... I mean, core Firewalker for fuck's sakes. For some reason, I'm unable to watch your stream, but I can see others. That's weird. Just keep refreshing it. Oh, Seasoned Pyromancer making red elemental tokens, I see. Of course we want to use... We're going to keep gaining life. This Batterskull and the Core Firewalker are now doing some serious work. I would think that they should be trying to chump block with these. Oh, they had a plan. Okay, where's our Winds of Abandon? 1 mana for Winds of Abandon. I could have played the Skyclave Relic for it. Ugh, another Vial? That's bullshit. I don't know what this is going to look like to our opponent, but whatever. I feel firmly in control here. Oh! Crocs has arrived, but we're going to wipe their entire board away. And it's going to be fucking glorious. Oh, no. Oh, we have to sacrifice a creature? That's easy. I was afraid of... Oh, yes. Use Core Fireworks ability. Yes. Okay, that sacrifice a creature is not a problem. They should have went for Artifact. That's harder to play around. They screwed up. Oh, no, I could put Batterskull back in my hand. I guess that doesn't work either. So we can Vial in the Skyclave Apparition, exile this stupid thing. One of the Seasoned Pyromancers, then we can sacrifice the Skyclave Apparition. Oh, they're going to look for a removal spell now? Okay, fair, fair. Oh yeah, that's right, I have Artifact, you're right. Stoink. I don't even have to bounce this thing, just sack one of these pieces of garbage. So are we going to beat a Kroxa? Because that's what's coming down next turn. I guess we do. Yeah, we crush a Kroxa. Weirdly enough, I've never felt like I've been in such control before. Boom! Abandon! Everything's been abandoned. Okay, see, let's see how many lands are actually in their deck. Yeah, like I predicted, only 3 more lands were in their entire deck. We attack for 6. They can't even do anything about this card when they play Kroxa. I mean, they can block with Shambling Vent for a turn, but that's about it. I guess they have a bunch of answers, though. I mean, if they find Kaya's Guile, that's not good. It's just basics. Wins is just basics. I actually think it's a very good card. What tribal synergies do we have? We have a lot of good tribal cards. We have a lot of good core cards. I mean, it's sort of a blinky deck, I guess. The winds of shit, that's right. The winds of shit, Randy. This one's a no, the other one's a yes. We can finally crack the silent clearing. Give her runes is fine. Path to Exile's perfect, so they activate Shambling Vent, we just kill it. That was a clean, easy win. Mostly thanks to all the life gain that this deck provides. And the core Firewalker. Let's not forget, the core Firewalker's place was super good at stabilizing the ground. And that was in the main deck. Alright, so now Devout. I think Devout Lightcaster will be good here. Can exile. It'll have protection from some removal spells. And we're going to bring it. And we can exile Kroxas with this. Containment Priest is probably not very good. If anyone in chat can find a reason why I should play Disenchant, I'm all ears. Pithing Needle might shut down Magmatic Chandler and Stoneforge Mystic if that is even in their deck, but I'm not even sure about that. Okay, cards I don't like. Relief Captain's probably some random huge beater. That's fine. All the swords are good. This sword is actually going to be very good in this matchup. Sword of Fire and Ice will also be good. Kitesail Cleric is going to be dog shit because of all the tokens that they make, like the flying tokens. We're just not going to attack into it very well. I could maybe take out one land. It's an attrition-based deck, but I don't know how comfortable I am. One card. Maybe one Mimic. The problem with Mimic is, again, one toughness creature. Not doing very well with the tokens. I'm not running on Thin Ice. I don't have that many snow permanents in the deck. I only have 6. My hand is good. Trailer Park Boys is the funniest show ever, but it gets so boring. Well, just stop watching it for a year, then go back, and then it's amazing again. It was definitely the best when it, like, even the camera work was as janky as possible. It got, like, way more professional looking later on and lost a bit of its, like, really rugged feel. Actually, I just realized this is, when I look at a masterpiece, I assume it's an ether vial because all my ether vials are masterpieces. Like, this is not an ether vial. It's still a hand worth keeping because I can cast both these cards, but not an ether vial. And they lost Mr. Leahy. Like, Mr. Leahy, the actor's dead, isn't he? That really sucks. Oh, this is gas. We just need another planes. The winds of shit. White source. Okay, so do I go for it? I mean, they clearly have removal. I mean, 1,000,000% they have removal. Is it white removal? Is it black removal? Maybe it's just fair to play this first. Because, well... Yeah, you know what? It's fair to display. If they have Fatal Push, I actually want this to be a Fatal Push magnet. Yeah, if it's Path, we would get another Plains. Oh, we might as well get Batterskull here. Aw, damn, they're smart. They're using their bolts on the Stoneforge Mystic because Core Firewalk are going to screw them over. How dare an actor die and ruin a show? How inconsiderate can someone be? Oh, this is going to be interesting. Does this help, though? Exile target an online permanent with convert mana cost 1 or less. We don't have much for 1 mana or less. And we don't care about our graveyard all that much. Well, I mean, we do have 1 sword that does care about the graveyard. Okay, we'll see what happens here. They're already low on resources, though. Go, go, core. Now, when I was helping adjust this deck with VNX, I actually wanted to put 4 Core Firewalker in the main deck. I thought that would be such a great meta call to just badly hose decks like this. You know, Kolaghan's command this thing, why don't you? Just try it. What's the ultimate? The ultimate is serious, isn't it? Deals damage to target player equal the number of cards that player owns in exile, and you gain that much life. It's not that it's not that bad. Could have been worse. You choose an instant or sorcery card. Oh, you want to take my Winds of Abandon, do you? Go take my Winds of Abandon. They could be mana screwed. Like, they might have stuff like Seasoned Pyromancer in hand and they don't have enough red mana to make use of it. Oh, another Collective Brutality. Target player sacrifices a creature. Well, I'm not in love with sacrificing my Mutavault, but I'd rather do this than sack the Core Firewalker. I gotta auto-yield that thing. Shit, our hand's getting more clunky. Okay, let's attack Kaya. Matchup's not about life totals at the moment. I didn't side out any lands. Where are my lands? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I should just let this Core Firewalker die. Because I still have Sword of Fire and Ice and Relief. Well, Relief Captain is pretty shitty as a 4-mana card that does nothing. Okay, what are you getting, Stoneforge Mystic? Batterskull. Alright, it's going to be a while before that gets online. Land, please. It would help a lot. Oh, excellent. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Because we can now equip the Sword of Fire and Ice next turn. And play Path to Exile on the Batterskull. That's going to be big game. Yeah, they are going to get sick of seeing Firewalker after this. If Firewalker goes the distance. Can this put counters on itself on each of up to 3 other target creatures? Bleh. Okay, here's Kroxa, no big deal. Okay, I'm gonna auto yield this because it's stupid. Can I always yes? Okay, get rid of a relief, Captain. What a relief that you are here, Captain. What a relief. This is pretty good too. Anyway, I'll just start with Sword of Fire and Ice because I would like to draw some lands. Now, the appropriate thing for our opponent to do would be to block with Stoneforge Mystic, then put the Batterskull in play. I mean, maybe it's not that bad to even just put the Batterskull in play. Shocking. They can't even play Kroxa yet, but I mean, after I path the Batterskull, they can. Or after I path the Germ Token, they can. You know, it's a line I didn't think about. Pathing Stoneforge Mystic in response to the fetch. I path Stoneforge Mystic, then they can't even do anything with Batterskull. Then they have to hard cast it. Okay. I guess we'll deal 2 damage to Stoneforge Mystic, so they can't even equip the Stoneforge Mystic. No lands yet. Well, fuck my life. Fortunately, Core Firewalker can attack right through the fucking Kroxa, so no big deal. We're vulnerable to a lot of cards. I mean, they have Kaya's Guile. They have, like, that stupid Angrath's Rampage. So, I mean, I'm not out of the woods at all. And I still need to... I prefer to curve out at this point. Ah, fuck. They found Fatal Push. Yeah, if I could get that Sword of Light and Shadow on that thing, it would have been great. It's a bit late, but... I'm not going to complain too much. Oh, you can exile non-land permanents with converting mana cost 1 or less. So, like, Giver of Runes can't protect itself. Relief Captain it is! Give me relief! The Captain! Support 3. Okay. I will do nothing. Pass. Yeah, cast the 4 mana 3/2. But do it with confidence and it gets bolted. Alright. What do we have left going? If we can get this Batterskull in play, it will be pretty good. So they'll probably play Kroxa here. We'll get rid of a Giver of Runes. They might play Batterskull, I don't know. No, they go for Crocs. Okay. Get rid of Giver Runes. Not good here. Come on, land. Is it to any target or is it just a target player? No, just a target player. That's good. Okay, am I sure I want to play this Batter Skull? We'll have Vigilance and Pro Red eventually. Yeah, so we will do that. I'll lose the Sword of Light and Shadow, but I guess the sword is not really that. It's the only good thing about it is that it gives me Pro Black, which would be convenient but not necessary. So I'm gonna get hit for basically 6 to 9 a turn, but I'm gonna gain 6 a turn, and hopefully Pro Red is gonna do it for me. Oh fuck, I forgot about Kaya. Oh yeah, okay. So Kaya is a fucking beating. That's actually amazing. Okay, so it appears to be that we are dead, unless... Well, I mean, I can top deck a random creature, put the sword on it, then equip Batter Skull. But I have a window of... What is this, 9/13? Oh, I have a window of no turns to do this. No, actually, I can play Stoneforge Mystic. Equip the Sword of Fire and Ice. I'm not even going to put it... no, I can put it in my hand, just save some life, I guess. Sure, we'll save some life. I might need it. Okay, so I can block the Kroxa. Take 6 from Shambling Vent and Germ Token. Go down to 6. It's not over yet, people. It's a fucking disaster. But it's not over yet. The core still have something to say about this. In fact, maybe I don't even block Kroxa. Maybe I can block the Shambling Vent and just kill it. I take 10, go down to... Block this, take 6, go to 6. Does it have trample? I'm always going to take 3 damage from this Kroxa no matter what. But I'll be gaining 7 next turn. I just want to die to Bolt or Collective Brutality. Alright, I'll block Kroxa. I'm going to play around Collective Brutality. And Bolt. Oh fuck, we're not playing around Kaya though. Okay. We were dead anyway. Okay, Pithing Needle is definitely coming in. You can name Stoneforge Mystic, Batter Skull, and Kaya. Oh, I'll take out more Metallic Mimics. Actually, do you know what? I'll take out the Sword of Light. Maybe I take out the Sword of Light and Shadow. Or maybe it's fine. I still have 28 creatures. Actually, maybe I take out Relief Captain. That wasn't really a relief to me. Metallic Mimic might be just marginally better because you can pump up my creatures early. 3/2, like a 3/2 for 4 mana was pretty shitty. And it's easier to play a Metallic Mimic and equip it with anything. Should we keep Mimic over Captain? Yes. Yeah, I just realized that myself. Yeah, I wasn't playing... Well, when I think of Kaya, I think of exiling 1 mana permanents, not 1 mana or less. This hand is actually okay. These are actually lands. So it might be a little slow to start, but it's going to catch up. Oh, Sword of Light and Shadow can give protection from Kaya. Okay, that's good to know. Let's go, 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 go. Maybe we can Winds of Shit them again. That's possible. The Winds of Shit. Hopefully we can play a Stoneforge Mystic around, like, anything that they do. Like if they go Kaya, pretty sure we could go Stoneforge Mystic, get Winds of Abandon, then kill it. What I like, in our position right now, what I like is that we can play the Stoneforge Mystic if they tap out. And I might not even do, if they just pass the turn, I might not do anything. We'll just keep attacking with the Skyclave Relic until they do something, until they make a move. See, they don't want to do anything. Maybe I don't want to do anything because I know you're just going to kill off my Stoneforge Mystic. So that's fine. I know how to play this game. Let's be a little patient. I'm not even going to activate my Mutavaults, but I'll put both of these at 2. Not bad. Okay, pass. Then we can play a Metallic Mimic into a Stoneforge Mystic. This core going to be big. I mean, I don't exactly have a good clock or anything, but I'm fine. Hopefully they're choked on mana at this point. We have tons of mana. Right, there's a Kaya. Kaya's not going to live no matter what Kaya does. This is just target creature they don't control. It's up to 2 target cards. Sure. They might kill the Metallic Mimic in response. What do we get? Because if we get Batterskull, Stoneforge dies. I can actually cast everything else. And maybe Sword of Light and Shadow. Well, Sword of Light and Shadow is not that great here. Or maybe we just get Batterskull so that we force the opponent to kill Stoneforge Mystic. Yeah, that might be some logic. So we get Batterskull. They have to kill Stoneforge right now, and then we kill Kaya. Oh! That's a good one! Okay, Kaya go down. Attack Lord Abyss for 1. This would have been great against Kaya. I just need one of my Vowels at 3. What do they know about in my hand? I think at least when... oh, maybe they don't know anything. I thought they Inquisitioned me earlier. They didn't. Oh, no. This thing is still good. Well, at least we have something. I mean, we have a few answers to this. 1 toughness creatures die again. As they do. Okay, one of these Ether Vials going up. I think it's better that I use a win. I don't know how many targets I have for these Winds of Abandon, so I'm just going to use one now. I don't know, play another Ether Vial. Nah, I'm going to save something in my hand to discard. For example, if they play Kolaghan's Command, make me discard a card, I'd rather discard the Ether Vial. I'm hoping this is going to be gas, though. They have so much card advantage on the battlefield. Drawing these Ether Vials suck because I really want lands for Batterskull. This is funny because the token is black. This is seems like a pretty poor use of the card, but I'm going to use it. Why we took Batterskull instead of the swords? We took Batterskull instead of the swords because it would force our opponent to use removal on our Stoneforge Mystic. If we took a sword, they didn't need to immediately kill our Stoneforge Mystic, and there's a chance that I do not kill... actually, we probably still kill the Kaya at the time. Okay, I can't be... I'm not really angry about that. Oh, we got a delicious Core Firewalker. Let's get in that damage. So they can bounce Batterskull, put it back on the battlefield with one more land. But then at that point we can Winds of Abandon and attack for 5. Well, we're chipping away some good amount of damage here. Winds of Abandon is great. This is just so good. I should experiment with this in Merfolk. Sure. I'll gladly sacrifice this dumb thing. Oh, you want me to discard a card? That's totally... That's why I kept the Ether Vial in hand, people. That's why we kept Ether Vial in hand. These decks always make you discard cards for some random dumb reason. Shit, Seasoned Pyromancer. Sure. Looks like I'm gonna lose my Winds of Abandon here. Or do I Winds of Abandon you? Attack Liliana to death. But then I lose the Batterskull, because Kroxa comes down. Yeah, Kroxa coming next turn. Or do I attack the opponent for 2? They go to 10. I play Batterskull. I can equip Core Firewalker. Because this will be invincible, except for Batterskull. I mean, they can bounce the Batterskull. It's not a big deal. Okay, I'll give Liliana fewer choices to edict me for a little while. Or fewer opportunities. It's funny, every single time I have Batterskull in hand, I like flat out on Ether Vials. I drew 3 Ether Vials this game. If these were lands, we would have this germ on the battlefield giving the beats so much earlier. It's not like we were attacking with those Mutavaults. Alright, goodbye Winds of Abandon. The winds of shit are gone. I mean, they have some options. They could equip Seasoned Pyromancer if they want to. The world is their oyster. I'm not sure what I want. This is a super grindy game, which just goes to show you how grindy this deck can get. Which I saw the value in it. Like, I saw that that was the value in this archetype. It had, it's got a lot of useful ETBs for the metagame right now. I mean, it's going to get stomped if you're up against some Tron deck that's trying to Goldfish, and probably the Titan matchup's not very good either. But if you're up against the Death Shadows, these Mardus... Oh, they're drawing cards? Seems a bit risky. Do they want to learn a little bit more about what's going on right now before they make a move? Okay, here comes Kroxa. Or what is this? 5 mana? Oh no, it still works. We gain a life! I would miss this trigger all day, all night in a competitive REL tournament. I am not used to playing with Core Firewalker. And so here's the situation. We are desperately hoping that our opponent has no black removal. This is not too bad. Okay, we're going to equip to the Core Firewalker, which is invincible, basically. And I think I'm going to attack the opponent. I mean, this is 6. It's a huge life swing. And I can block and kill a Kroxa, for fuck's sakes. Yeah, I can kill the Kroxa. This is how deadly Core Firewalker is with the Batter Skull on it. Inquisition? Absolutely not. Oh shit, is Angrass Rampage instant speed? Oh, Kai's Guile is! Oh, I fucked up then. I should have maybe instant speed played this one. Okay, I screwed up. I was thinking about Angrass Rampage. I hope I didn't blow the match there. Yes, I do. Would like to put this innocent little Core Cleric in. I was thinking about things that they could make me sacrifice at instant speed. I just completely forgot about Kai's Guile. Because when they edict with Liliana of the Veil, I had the option to activate the Ether Vial right then and there to play around it. But all I could think of was Angrass Rampage. They didn't even attack with Kroxa, which is something, I guess. Oh, maybe they really would need to preserve their life total right now. Oh my god, what a top deck. But I can't do anything with it. Okay, just pass. Oh, I didn't put the deck here. I'll go get I'll update the deck after the match is done. What game is this? Is this game 3? I think this is game 3. We had it in the bag, in my opinion. I think I should actually return the Battle Skull back to my hand and replay it, because otherwise Liliana will just edict my stupid creature. That is very interesting. Unfortunately, I cannot exile the Batterskull of my opponents. So this just might be a bit of a Batterskull war at the moment. But I can Skyclave the Seasoned Pyromancer. Maybe now this is where my opponent starts playing Castle Lothwain, or not. That sucks. Oh, that's gonna really suck for our opponent. They should have played the Liliana first. Oh no, they couldn't play the Liliana first. They had to play the other thing. Okay, let's get rid of Kaya. This game is so dangerous. I need like another core Firewalker. Oh, they didn't equip their Seasoned Pyromancer. Oh, this has got to be good here. I hope. I'll just attack our opponent. Does this work? I guess they make a bunch of Seasoned Pyromancer tokens. Honestly, I think we're about to clock our opponent. Keeping this in my hand until they like replay the Batterskull. Oh, they might not. This is match 2, game 3, and this is taking forever. Another one of these fucking things. Okay. Which is not a problem, because we're just going to get rid of it. Target player sacrifices a creature. Sure, this one. This is such an interactive game. Like, this is ridiculously interactive. This is like even more interactive than I thought it would be. Okay, let's watch it like attack and then fail. No fail. Pro black. Oh, we got Stoneforge Mystic. I mean, this is going to be huge. Well, I can get Sword of Light and Shadow and everything. Or I can get Sword of Fire and Ice. That'll make, like, super quick work of our opponent. And I can shoot something? Alright, let's shoot. Liliana, I guess. Liliana's fucking annoying. Alright, somehow... I can't even believe this. How did this happen? How did this happen? Elemental doesn't even do very much here. Well, they got now a bunch of blockers, but they're going to lose on time. Now I need Sword of Light and Shadow. Or I need Core Skyfisher to bounce my Stoneforge Mystic. Attack. Here come the chump blockers. Oh, you know what's interesting? Okay, they'll put something on a flyer, right? Does this thing fly? It does not. Okay, so now this game is actually a lot harder. But I'm still in a position where I'm gaining more life than they are. Maul of the Sky Claves. No, now I can play. This thing is just fucking unbeatable. Now I block this fucking Batterskull. But ideally, I should start putting stuff on, like, Devote Lightcaster or something, because, like, it has Pro Black, and after Pro Black, Pro Red, and all this other shit, then it will be, like, invincible. It will be genuinely invincible. But we are going to win on time. Oh, wow. Okay, so... Okay. The plot thickens. Although once we put on the Devote Lightcaster, like, everything would be fine. We have Core Firewalker. Okay, so we'll put something on Devote Lightcaster. Actually, hold on, just cancel. Whatever. And then the following turns, we put the other two on. But we win on time. It's not how I expected to win this one. I don't know what the hell is the consensus here. Okay, hold on. I'll get you guys the deck list in a second. Anyway, GG's to our opponent. Really tough game. Went the distance. Let me just get you guys the deck list. Oh, I already had it here. Okay, here, hold on. Well, here's the deck list if you want to see it. And then I'll make it part of Cardboard Live. And while you check out, so we're 1-1 so far with an outrageously grindy deck. This stream might go way longer than I expected it to be. But I knew it had the grind. I knew it had the grind. Well, if the grind was what you liked about the deck, then why did you insist so much on Metallic Mimic and Relief Captain? So, I mean, I was talking with VNX a day before about the list, and I actually just wanted to scrap all of these cards for, like, Flicker Wisp and a bunch of other, you know, synergy-based, like, and also Core Firewalker. But anyway, let's see how well it works out still. We've only gone through 2 matches. I got to use the washroom, so I'll be back in a second. See you guys in 1 minute. What's this newfangled high-quality content? Good afternoon, JDX the Kid. This deck is a little too grindy for my taste. I don't want to spend an hour every match playing it out. What happened to your merfolk? Did they finally evolve out of the water? I don't know if the merfolk directly evolve into core. Or maybe they do that and then they... What the hell is a core anyway? It just looks like a weird looking human. I mean, if no one told me, I would have just looked at all the core cards and just say that they're like some sort of human. They're very humanoid. Too human, in my opinion. Yeah, exactly. What's a core? Where in mythology does it talk about cores? I think they are the D&D equivalent of Asamir. Well, that does not clear anything up for me. That just makes things more confusing. It's a way of Wizards of the Coast printing human cards without buffing human tribal. There, now that's an explanation I can get behind. That's an explanation. El Rodeo Sound would date Stoneforge Mystic in a heartbeat. Alright, we won the die roll. His hand is absolute dog shit. But maybe it's good. No, this is just dog shit. I'm actually not really loving the Sword of Light and Shadow in this deck. I think I'd prefer so far Sword of Feast and Famine. It seems to be way more applicable than this. This hand has one... No, this hand has 2 lands. Okay, I'm gonna keep this. I'll just get rid of the relief captain because it's so clunky. So this is gonna be a bit of a slow start. Actually, maybe I should have got rid of the Path to Exile. Is Stoneforge Mystic the girl that would steal your things? I think she's the girl that would pull a knife on you. She makes them anyway. My opponent asks, no merfolk. No merfolk today. I guess we're up against Storm, which should be an atrocious matchup. Where are the odds you live? Very low. Okay, Metallic Mimic, just go out there, do your thing. So eventually we'll play Core Skyfisher and bounce our Skyclave back to our hand. And then, I guess, replay it. If this is Storm, it's not going to matter, though. Yeah, it could be still Prowess. If you date Stoneforge Mist, you get the best presents. A huge battering ram is what I would imagine for Christmas. Okay, this Giver of Runes going to get big. Going to be buffy. Big buff Giver of Runes. We have to Path to Exile this Goblin Electromancer. Not even going to give it to our opponent's turn. I guess I'll play this other one. So we're guaranteed a land drop for Skyclave Apparition if necessary. But why does your deck look like either average White Weenie from a draft or a good sealed pool? Well, I mean, that's what it is. Okay, please don't kill me. I have nothing. I'm a mono white deck. I'm defenseless. Oh, Lord of the Abyss. Yeah, that was a good game. Too bad we didn't have more time to finish it off. We were both, like, really cramped on time. Huh, look at this. Giver of Runes is going to live through the Grape Shot Storm. Or is it? What's going on here? Yeah, this is a 2-3. Or are you going to play one more Grape Shot? Oh. Well, you should have just shot me then. Well, whatever. We get to play Skyclave Apparition next turn. We didn't die. That's the important thing amongst everything here. We didn't die. So important. We could have just been snapped. We could have lost that turn. Let's get into beats now. They might be flooding. We have an okay hand here. Because we get to flood the board with some creatures. That's interesting. It doesn't. We get to target upon resolution. Maybe we should just play the Clave Cleric right now. And then next turn we can play Giver of Runes. And attack with Mutavault. Because if we play Giver of Runes this turn, we're not going to actually attack with anything. Or we're not going to attack with the Giver of Runes next turn. Gifts ungiven. There's no Core Haven in here. Well, it is sort of a variation of Death and Taxes, I would say. So I guess we give our opponent... Well, they have a lot of mana no matter what. What am I going to put in the graveyard? Put... Normally I like to cramp my opponent on mana, but they have a lot. Flashback on this is very high. Hopefully based on the fact that they don't have a mana creature out helps a lot. It's a little bit more expensive to flashback from the graveyard. Ah, shite. Okay, I think we're dead now. I don't know what the matchup is going to be like for this. We do have some cards, but we don't have a fast clock. We need some of those cards like players cannot... what's it called? Players cannot search their library. I'm not talking about like Leon and Arbiter. Like something more like you cannot search more than like 4 cards on top of your library. Okay, I actually have better things to do. Let's just concede. We sucked up a lot of time in round 2, like a little bit too much time for my taste. Okay, I will bring in Core Firewalker. This is whenever a player casts a red spell. I don't think that protects against Storm. We'll definitely bring in Chalice, because if we can get Chalice on, particularly 2, that should be enough to win. If a non-token creature entered the battlefield and wasn't cast, exile it instead. That's useless. This is probably useless. I don't think they're going to bring in Arya Flame. I don't need this. Relief Captain, way too clunky. Metallic Mimic might be fine. Very weak gut shot target. I'm going to keep the Clerics in just for mana sources so we can get to Chalice on 4 pretty easily. Sort of Light and Shadow looks pretty terrible. Apparition probably is okay just for maximizing the creatures I have to exile. Maybe I'll get rid of... Well, Winds is a lot of mana, but if I don't deal with their cost reducer creatures, I'm screwed too. Like, the only reason they could combo off that turn was because they had Baral, and I answered 2 of their creatures. I will admit, I don't really like to focus on them because they only need 1. Oh, yeah, I'll get rid of Winds of Abandon. Maybe we could get rid of some Skyclaves too. Yeah, I dropped Light and Shadow. The only deck that ever played Arya Flame basically was Storm. I mean, they don't always have in the sideboard, but they can. I'll keep this. Has no interaction, but it's a bit too juicy of a hand to throw away. How's the deck so far? It's actually, it's okay. It's okay. We ground out a Mardu Stoneblade deck last round. Actually grounded out. Probably need some help versus combo decks like this. If we draw specifically Damping Sphere, it would go a long way. Your banana muffins. So I'm not gonna play this Chalice for a little while. Let's start off with Stoneforge Mystic. I might even get Batterskull. Do I get Batterskull? Because if I play Sword of Fire and Ice on the core Firewalker, that seems pretty good. Okay, I'll get Batterskull. be nice if I had Core Skyfish just to save my Stoneforge Mystic. See? Maybe I could have set that up better. Land. Not a land. Oh, I do have the land, actually, because of Skyfisher. So I screwed that up. I should have played the Give of Runes and flashed in Core Firewalker. And then what I can do is I'm going to float 3, place Core Skyfisher, return a land, replay the land, and then play Chalice on 2. And probably the opponent's not going to see it coming. Let's just hope we don't lose this turn. Ugh. Always yield. Fuck, I think they're just going to go for the victory this turn. They had a turn 3 kill. Because if you can get a Chalice on 2, you just crush all these cards and most of the cards that answer a Chalice of the Void, which includes like a Braid and Echoing Truth. That's a pretty... Okay, what do I have to do here? Let's see if the... I don't think the copies are going to trigger Core Firewalker. Let's see if they do. No, they do not. Did they try to go for victory and then it just failed? Aha! Okay, hold on. Always yes, and now always yield. I think we can deal with the goblins. I think. Maybe I'm wrong. Chalice on 1 and 2 is good. Okay, so float mana. Core Skyfisher. Return plains back to hand. Play plains. Chalice on 2. Take 9 damage. Put a bunch of creatures on the battlefield. Hopefully stave off disaster. Like, I hope I can beat this. If they play any more spells, we gain life. If I can peel a few lands, that would help a lot. Because this is 8, go to 12. Next turn, take 6, go to 6. I think they had to attack with Brawl. That would put a lot of pressure on me. I can't play both of these this turn. So I think I'm going to prioritize Chalice. Oops. No, Chalice. I can't play any of these. This don't work. Chalice on 2 gets destroyed. Oops. I don't have any blue cores. Okay, we're just going to play this one. Chalice counters Chalice. The next Chalice of the Void moment is like when we can get to how many? The next time that we can play Chalice of the Void is like, I don't know, at 4 when we have 8 mana in play. Okay, I assume our opponent has a second Brawl in hand now, so we're just gonna block as so. That is a weird card to have. I sort of want to bounce my own shit. So I'm going to take another 3, go to 3. Hope my opponent doesn't have Bolt. I guess I can path and play around Bolt. I don't really have a lot to do with this Path to Exile anyway. Oh, that's right. Yeah, I would gain 1 life if they played Bolt. I'm in a weird spot that I want to draw lands. Why don't you have built-in life gain to really fuck over the red decks? You already have so many text to beat the red decks. Why don't you have life gain attached to any of that stuff? Okay, so I can chip in for like some damage and then play Metallic Mimic, give it pro red. Nah, screw it. I'm just gonna pass. Yeah, let's. We're gonna errata core. We're gonna errata it. I might be in a situation where, oh no, if they had Bolt, they would just Bolt the Giver of Runes already. So I guess it was safe to attack for 2. I do have to kill my opponent though. I mean, if they flashback empty the Warrens, even after a bunch of their spells get countered, I mean, it's gonna be lethal. Oh, this Batter Skull sucks. Maybe I could attack with 2 creatures. Chalice is definitely doing something. They put 1 card on top of their library. This is going to be a homunculus creature. Oops, they're probably going to double block this. Or maybe not, I don't know. Okay, let's start attacking. Oh, nothing, okay. Get in there, you white little dinks. Gifts ungiven? Oh, Past in Flames. But you can't do too much with this. Yeah. Okay, we win. Because they don't have any rituals to really go off. Okay, so Chalice on 4, like Chalice on 2, paying 4 mana did a lot of work there, as I predicted. I predicted that would be the case. Okay, let's submit deck. Let's do this again. Let's see if we can steal this. This is not a good. I sincerely doubt this is a good matchup. I'm sure this is a real dog shit matchup. Remove Stoneforge Mystic for Apparition? I think I would still feel more safer with Stoneforge Mystic. Otherwise, like, the whole artifact package is ridiculously clunky. This hand's bad. Just not enough mana. This hand seems very dubious. Just doesn't have interaction. And it's clunky. I don't want to toss any cards away. Okay, I'm going to get rid of one Giver of Runes. I'm going to be all in on killing their Electromancers or something. Maybe in response, I can Path to Exile my own Giver of Runes, give myself a land, ramp myself into Chalice on 2. I think I just have enough removal. I also, like, playing Apparition on the draw by turn 3 might be too late. Like, it's probably fine. It's probably fine. But there's going to be a lot of games where I just lose on turn 3 anyway. I mean, maybe that doesn't matter because if I'm going to lose on turn 3 anyway, then I'd lose with the Stoneforge Mystic as well. So it's a wash. Or if I'm bringing an Apparition, I'll take out, like, what's it called? Metallic Mimic. Oh, we got a Sky Clave Cleric on the way. Sure. Okay, I'm going to be very wary of them playing Electromancer and just winning on immediately. We don't have a really fast clock, so I'm just going to wait. Oh, they did nothing. Go, 3 life gain. I have Core Tribal as a pet deck of mine, and I play red. I like the splash a lot. I did not consider any of the splashes. Pieces of the Puzzle is a very good card. How many cards you get in your hand? Ritual? Puts Island, Goblin, Electromancer, and River Glide Pathway into their graveyard. So they have a Lightning Bolt and Pyretic Ritual. I'm just not going to do anything. This is the first time we see Chef at Dunes. So I'm not tapping out because, like, this is my only defense against them at the moment. See, here we might have just lost if I had tapped out. At the same time, like, there's a lot of room for me to be greedy if I really need to be. Oh, well, they didn't play anything. I thought they would at least play Gifts Ungiven or something. Okay, they have Lightning Bolt. Will you spend it on a Mutavault? I should have looked at, like, all, you know, I only looked at, like, core cards in mono white. I should have explored what do the other colors give, because maybe there are some really good core creatures in the other colors. Keeping the 2 Path to Exile have paid off. I'm not dead yet. We've made it to turn 6, people. We've done. That's a win in itself. I'm not dead. Well, I'm not going to count my chickens before they hatch. Do we get to go to turn 7? No, it's our turn. That's their turn 6. Are we going to go to turn 6? We have a lot of lands out. What does Akiri do? Someone look up the card. You know what we need right now? Core Firewalker. Oh, yeah. Three mana, Core Warrior at a 3/3. Whenever you attack a player with one or more equipped creatures, draw a card. You may unattach. I don't like this. It's too situational. Tap that creature and it gains haste. No, I don't want stuff like, oh, if you're already completely winning because you have a creature that's equipped. Like I want cards that are just good by themselves. They do not require a very specific situation to get the value from it. So I wouldn't play Akiri. It's too pet. It's too much of a pet card for me. That is one problem with the core cards. Like there's a lot of them that are like, you get this ability if something's equipped. But like that's so hard to do in Modern because there's just so much removal. The cards have to be like, it has to be something like Stoneforge Mystic that's just individually powerful by itself. It's not like Stoneforge Mystic says, if you already have an equipped creature, search your library for an equipment card and put it into your hand. It's just like, no matter what the board state is, you get this. You get this effect. Too many of the core cards, when I was looking them up, it's like, you get this effect if this scenario is happening. And that scenario almost always was like, do you have a creature that's equipped? Which is like, you're winning at that point. Or you should be winning. So that's just, it's a super win more card. Oh, you also play the... Which one's the Outfitter? Is that the one that gives first strike when the ETB creatures happen? Believe it or not, Vish, like a mono white deck won the Mana Traders Open just a little while ago. Pure mono white. But it was literally Death and Taxes. Oh, ETB put an equipment on a creature? But you need the equipment already in play. Well, what they could also do is just make more cheap equipment that's like, well, I don't know, like equipment. The problem with equipment in Modern is it requires to it. Oh yeah, you're right. So that would be the solution. More living weapon equipment, because under that scenario, is our opponent gonna kill us or what? If it's a living weapon, then it's a creature in itself. You don't have to worry about getting hit. Or you don't have to worry about your creatures dying in response to equipping. They're just a threat by themselves. Fuck, are we dead? Death and Taxes sounds like a legit deck, though. But it's still mono white. Maybe my opponent just has a second Grape Shot in hand, which explains why they didn't do anything for a very long time. Okay, oops. Just concede. All right. I don't know what this it's probably not a great matchup. It would help a lot if we had something like, if we were like closer to Death and Taxes and at least Thalia, our opponent. Although I don't know how good Thalia is either, because it's pretty vulnerable. Anyway, didn't win this one. Let's move on to round 4. Moving on to round 4. Who knows what that matchup would have been like if we had the 4 core Firewalkers for them. It would have been amazing. What modern decks would you recommend if Knight of the Reliquary is your favorite card? Oh, green-white, green-white Value Town. Look up F. Pavlush. Here. F. Pavlush. MTG. Look him up on YouTube. Just look up, like, Reclaimer Value deck. I don't know. He's playing with some green-white decks with Knight of the Reliquary in them. Oh, we have an okay hand. We lost the die roll, but that's okay. Hopefully we draw stuff. We do need to draw cards. Oops, I guess I didn't need to do this. I could have played the Chef at Dunes and had colorless mana. What the fuck is this? Maybe we're up against that green-white deck that I was just talking about. Oops. Yeah, you're not... Okay, cancel. You're technically not a core yet. You are now. What the fuck? That's how fearful they are of our core. Okay, I have no idea what this is. I want to say it's like Bogles or something, and they just kept a hand without a Bogle. That's the only way I can explain their concession. But we have nothing. We're working on nothing. All right, chat. What are we up against? What are we up against? Okay, let's just fuck it. We'll blind Chalice. If it is Bogles, we should have a good matchup. Here, okay, we're just gonna go all in on this Bogles thing. We just pray to God this is Bogles. Relief Captain. This is actually the first matchup I think Relief Captain will be good. I really wish we had Sword of Feast and Famine now. That would be perfect against Bogles. I don't think this is better than Sword of Feast and Famine. I think this is actually strictly worse. I think in too many situations, I just want something that can attack and I can get a bunch of tempo by emptying by getting more mana and then emptying my hand. If my opponent has like white mana, then they probably have like Skyclave Apparition for just dealing with the Sword of Light and Shadow in the first place. But anyway, this is still a white deck, so I'll keep it for now. Get rid of some Winds of Abandon. Yeah, yeah, I guess so. Even if we're up against Bogles, we might as well get rid of the stupid thing. Or maybe, I guess we keep Winds of Abandon, we get rid of Path to Exile. Let's see how good our read is. Like, that's a hell of a read to say, this is a Bogles player that kept a no creature hand, and it didn't work out for them. I don't know what else to cut now. I don't want to cut any more creatures. I have to... Okay, so I'll get rid of Sword of Light and Shadow. Or maybe also get rid of Sword of Fire and Ice. That's not good against Bogles or any green-white stuff. Okay, good enough. If it's... this is not bad, too bad a sideboarding. Morden Jite. This isn't... The sideboarding's not too bad even if we're up against a green-white Titan deck. Sleeping Pill says Metallic Mimic is tribal jank glue. Yeah, sort of. This is not... no, we have Stoneforge in hand, so it's not that bad of a hand. Oh, what a call! What a call! It was Bogles that did not keep a Bogle in their hand. That's a tough thing to... It's tough to call someone kept a I think it was even a 7-card hand. They kept a 7-card hand with no Bogle. Oh, fuck. That's a problem. No, this is something I want to Winds of Abandon. And I've just fucking drew my Batterskull. Okay. Yeah, they also have core. Maybe this is a core that we should have in our deck. Just play core Spirit Dancer. Why didn't this come up? Did this come up? I can't remember when I was looking it up. Well, if I get another creature in play, I mean, these are like basically indestructible, but this is just going to draw a lot of cards, unfortunately. Okay, we'll get Stoneforge Mystic in play. We'll get the Amal the Skyclaves. I mean, this is not bad. If they can't get rid of Giver of Runes, Batterskull plus Maul might do some good work. Yeah, all instinct. Well, I mean, I didn't. It was just their mana base. Like I couldn't with. They played a forest and this pathway land, and I'm like, oh fuck, that's actually not good at all. I was just thinking, what on earth? What other deck would we even want to play this land? Can Mother 2.0 target opposing monsters? No, only creatures you control. So this is going to go on the Core Spirit Dancer. Sure, whatever. Drawing 2 cards is pretty bad, though. I don't feel very good about this right now. Oh, well, let's see. I mean, if they don't have Trample, I guess we've stabilized to some degree. Pass. Oh, I guess I could have played the other Giver of Runes to protect the Givers. Yeah, misplay. Okay, so here I could play like Disenchant, and then they lose both of these. Ugh, they draw 2 cards though. But they don't gain... Do they gain life? Hold on, here's a question. Do they gain life if I give Pro? Or is it that they don't deal damage? Alright, so I've basically... So I don't even care about this stuff. I just care about the Trample. Although if I hit the Rancor, it's not that great either, because the Rancor will go back into their hand. My only big problem is that they're drawing a lot. They're drawing 2 cards a turn. I mean, this is a lot of cards. Oh no, there's a second problem. They can target multiple creatures. Well, I can just destroy... How do I kill this fucking Spirit Dancer? Oh, you mean, there was an opportunity to disenchant this before the Rancor went on? I guess that makes some sense. Yeah, maybe that was worth it. Okay, so I'm sort of committed here. It's not going to be over yet. It's just not a good spot. So I take 8, gain 4. But I should have another Giver of Runes here. Oh, Winds of Abandon is great. By the way, why didn't you kill the Umbra in response to Coronet? Well, Because I wanted to put the Batterskull in play. That's essentially it. I just wanted to put the Batterskull in play. Like, I can also, like, right now, I could put Maul the Skyclaves on the battlefield and give this Germ, like, what is it going to be? Plus, it's going to be a 6/6 flyer with Vigilance, flying, and all this other shit. But now I'm second thinking it. I should probably get rid of this Core Spirit Dancer, because my opponent's drawing 2 cards every turn. That's, like, just too much. That's too much for me. We'll get Rancor back. I can attack for 4 here. We'll play another Giver of Runes, and then the board will be invincible, more or less. And then when we get the, what's it called, Maul the Skyclaves down, it'll be super invincible. Now I wish I had more swords in my deck. I can, like, Core Skyfish or bounce Stoneforge Mystic. Fuck, another another Core Spirit Dancer. Shit. This is very difficult. I guess in an ideal world, I need, what's it called? Activate abilities cost 2 more to activate unless they're mana abilities. Okay, so I definitely need 1 more mana to get the Maul of the Skyclaves in play. Oh, I can't even block with this. This is a hoser against us. They should have, I guess they don't need to attack. Shit, I need 1 more land. Oh no, I can disenchant it though. Okay, so we've got an answer. Or maybe I should wait for them to attack. Can I ambush them? It affects Maul because I can't activate Stoneforge Mystic. Because it I have to pay 4 to activate. Oh yeah, that's right. I can play a Core Skyfisher, get some... Pick up a land, replay. I guess I'm just going to pass. Or can I... No, I can actually attack here. Because if they want to block with the Glade Cover Scout, that's when we, like, hit them with the suppression field. Okay, we got our blockers. But our opponent's drawing 2 cards a turn. They're drawing more cards than Storm. They're drawing a lot of Bogles, it seems. Is that it? I think they drew... Oh my god, they have so many creatures! And I think that's it for them. They still do nothing. Fine by me. Alright, disenchant this stupid thing. Take our turn. Relief Captain. All I want for Christmas is 1 more fucking land. Okay, but it appears that they have no more anything in hand, so maybe we can clock them. I have a 2-turn clock in the air. Oh, this one has reach. Fuck! What have I done? Oh, they didn't block. Alright, so that's good. Where's that Engineered Explosives when you need it? I know. Chalice of the Void would be just good enough. This one also has reach now. And they draw 2 cards. So I think it's pretty unlucky on our opponent that they drew like all their creatures. Hey, Squatting Jagger. This is a hell of a turn for our opponent. Look at all these fucking reach cards. They have a lot of stuff on that, but there's no vigilance. And they have no lifelink. They're just so all in on this card. Oh fuck, they found a day. Well, they might have had the Daybreak Coronet the entire time. Okay, so now that matters. Okay, so that's 25. What's a 21? 19 creature. So we can block nothing. Okay, now this might be GG. I need... No, we lose. This thing has reach. And they have 27 life. There is nothing we can do. Okay, we're dead. Yeah, the life link. Well, it's the life link, the reach, like having flying means nothing. Okay, so now we know it's Bogles. Does anything change? I don't think so. I think our Skyclave apparition should be fine. Actually, I might want to change something for... Like, Core Firewalker is not that important. It's a 2/2 creature. That's about it. I could bring in more... No, I don't want to bring in more Path. Which of these help me? Maybe just more Kitesail Cleric. Maybe not. Maybe, like, do I just want a random Grizzly Bear that doesn't shut off my Aether Vial? That's pretty sad, but, like, I mean, that might be where I want to be. Oh, Path? Yeah, maybe we just have Path just so that we don't get crushed by Core Spirit Dancer again. I guess it's better than nothing. And if we get shut off by our own Chalice, that's not really a big deal. This is a very underwhelming hand. Well, this is not a very good matchup for Damping Sphere, I don't think. If they have to spend a little bit more mana, I don't think it's going to hurt them very much. I think we just tempo ourselves out most of the time. This is a bad hand because it does not interact at all. You can put a Batterskull into the battlefield pretty quickly. And if they have Suppression Field, then that will make this hand terrible. I'm gonna mulligan this. I mean, these fucking relief captains. I think this hand is a little bit better. Maybe I keep both Stoneforge Mystics. No. Batterskull, Maul. Okay, I'll keep the Stoneforge Mystics. Clave Cleric will come into play tapped. We'll have a pretty slow start, but hopefully it will be good enough. This is a Dono deck. That is what prompted Core Tribal. Vienix in chat. Wanted to see it come to life. Oh, what a great top deck. Alright, so maybe we will get everything online really quickly. Fuck, that was really bad. So what, I need how much more mana? Okay, so this is actually just going to come into play. But I can still use this stuff. Okay, so I guess I'm going to attack? Sure. Because I can't activate yet. I can activate next turn. With our opponent has nothing. Oh, great. Okay. In that case, I'll put Mimic in play. Or I don't know. Maybe that wasn't the right move. Maybe I should have just got the equipment again. Yeah, Apparition would be very good. Apparition, Disenchant. So they went all in on the suppression field, and it's not going to pay off for them. And we are happily flooding out, I should say. What does Maul cost? It just costs 3 mana. We can just cast this thing. Alright, we're racing Bogles. Show your Bogle or lose. And maybe I should have put the Maul the Sky Claves on Stoneforge Mystic or something. Just to, like, if they have Path to Exile, they just Path the Germ. And then we did it! They went for Suppression Field, and you know what? If we were on a one-lander, we would have been completely screwed, but we just curved all our lands out, and it did great. The Clave Cleric acting again as a land to help us curve out. Worked out for us big time there. Boom! Look at that. Two games. The Bogle player kept a no-creature hand. And that's, by the way, sometimes that's fine if you are running fetch lands, because you can fetch out the Dryad Arbor, but this is a fetchless deck, it looks like, because they're playing with the pathways. All right, that was, you're off to foul play, see you later. And anyway, that was round 4. Let's go into round 5. Bogle's biggest weakness is the pilots. It's a beginner deck, what can I say? Or I should say entry-level deck into Modern. Okay, let's go into round 5. Deck is definitely performing fine. I mean, if we lose this thing, I mean, it's a deck. It's definitely a deck. Suppression Field. It doesn't kill fetches. It makes them very clunky, though. So yeah, if the opponent has a lot of fetches in their deck, it's a huge beating. Some decks are just murdered by Suppression Field. Is there a Suppression Field on a creature? Like, do we have that yet? Probably not. If they had a Suppression Field, that might be something coming out in Modern Horizons too. You gotta go bang, just murder those damn fetchland decks. I wouldn't mind that on a Merfolk. Then the white players would be like, oh my god, you took our card. This is a white card. This is not a blue card. Just look at Suppression Field clearly. But, like, also, well, I can't really say that blue taxes players very much. We have some cards, but not a lot. A Platinum Empyrean and Platinum Angel? I don't think that's the same. Yeah, we have a confirmation from Arken Savakan. What about bringing back white Merfolk? I never played. Is there even enough playable white Merfolk? It'd just be super jank. I mean, I made mono green Merfolk sort of work. They have some cards. especially with when you throw hardened scales in there. But mono white, I mean, what it's like literally draft cards or cards like ETB you gain life. Are there any good merfolk for white? Oh, Stoneforge Mystic and Skyclave Apparition. Okay, we're up against Johan Ekman. We won the die roll, which would be a nice way to finish the league. Hand is fine. I'll keep. And this looks like a match where we can tick one of these vials up to 3 to 4. And maybe we'll actually get to see some use out of this relief captain. We played this card once this entire league, and it was a 3/2 creature. So, I mean, I can comfortably go turn 1 Vial, turn 2 Vial, and actually hold back the Clave Cleric in my hand. Sure. Actually, it's just funny. Splinterfin could play. You could play the Splinterfin combo in here. Oh no, you can't because you need Thassa's Oracle. I'm just gonna play Vial again. We're up against Ponza, it seems, which is like whatever. It's fine. We might be favored against Ponza. I mean, once I get to 3 mana, I'll Skyclave Apparition this or something. You know, we don't fold super easy to Blood Moon. I could be 5-color Niv to Light, but I mean, if I were to take a wild guess, it looks like Ponza. Just red-green Ponza. Sure. We could Skyclave that. Or we will Skyclave nothing right now. Okay, so our opponent has a turn to, I don't know, get to 4 mana creature on the battlefield. Mirror Entity. Says Vish. Mirror Entity is a good white merfolk. It's like, and also Mutavault is a really good colorless merfolk. Mutavault's a great core. What's in our sideboard for this matchup? Maybe Disenchant. Can hit Blood Moon. Can't hit this though. Core Firewalker is gonna be great. I don't actually think there's much here. Oh, maybe Pithing Needle to hit Utopia Sprawl. And the Scavenging Ooze. Do you like those merfolk from Strixhaven? No, I don't. So far, they're all crap. They're all commander cards at the moment. We're going to gain some life. I mean, at this point, our opponent must be like, if I lose to this deck, you know, what's the point of going on? Maybe I should play another game. Because how would anyone feel when your opponent goes like, put this Clave Cleric on the battlefield, But at least we haven't put like Cavernous Souls in play naming core. That would be like the ultimate embarrassment. What to do here? I don't think they have another Clothis in hand, because otherwise I'd have discarded it, and Clothis is pretty good. Or I could really hump their mana and go like Utopia Sprawl and then take away their Arbor Elf. But this is like constant value. And it potentially is constant mana. Can they? No, they have actually. No, I gotta do something about this Utopia Sprawl crap. This is too much. Like, I don't want them to get to Glorybringer and then I'm really fucked. Bloodbraid Elf? Hmm. Oh, add red. Was this gonna be Bolt? Sure. Oh, fuck, that sucked. That's not good. That was before we could get the relief captain out. Shit, I should sacrifice the silent clearing. Can I still do that? Okay. Let's do this in response. Because if I draw a 3-drop, I'll take the vial up. I do not draw a 3-drop, so we will not take the vial up. Oh, Stoneforge Mystic is great. My opponent asks, are you Nikachu the streamer? Yes. Okay, I guess I do nothing. You can deal 4 damage to kill my Sky Clave Cleric. So be it. So we do have Path to Exile for the fucking dragon if that ever becomes a thing. Bloodbraid Elf. And Core Folk Master, basically. Come on, Lightning Bolt. Oh, Blood Moon. You have no power here. They probably want to play it, though, anyway. I wonder what they think I have at 4 mana. Well, the cool thing about Arbor Elf is they can only untap, like, green sources now. Alright, let's show them what we got! Let's do this! Okay, so we're gonna find... I don't know what to find. I want to sort of get, like, I think I'm gonna get Maul the Skyclave so I can kill the Chandra. Because that's the only thing that gives me evasion here. And I can kill the Chandra. So I think I'm going to get Maul. Yeah. We'll beat them down with the relief captain. The captain! The captain is about to show why he's the captain. Ugh, can't choose yourself, damn it. I can put tokens on my opponent's creatures? It's silly. Unless, oh, well, I guess if my opponent has, like, what's it called? Phantasmal Image, I guess it's not as silly. Okay, what do I eat up here? Let's go to blocks. I can eat this for free. I can block this pretty well. And that's it. Nice turn. Not bad. Oh, I can't kill the Chandra. It's close, but no donut. Okay, whatever. Well, this is going to be good anyway. Okay, so we will activate, we'll put them all, the Skyclaves on the battlefield, and make it very difficult for our opponent to do something on the following turn. Hopefully. Got, what, Fire and Ice, then Path the Elf? But I can't do all that at once. I don't have 3 mana on me. Huh? I can't play this untapped. I don't get it. Okay, they found a forest. Oh, you're right. I could... Oh, that's true. We got Blood Moon out, so that actually works out for us. True story. Alright, well, I can still go for that line. I have a Stoneforge Mystic in hand. I mean, well, might as well block. There's some consequence to this. I mean, whatever. I can figure out what that is. Oh, sure. So we will go get we'll get Sword of Fire and Ice. I'll equip this, attack our opponent for 6, kill Chandra, and then I don't think there's any way our opponent can make a comeback. Or we can gain 3 life off of this Clave Cleric. Oops. What's going on here? Oh no, I can't equip this yet. What the fuck am I doing? None of this works as I wanted it to. Well, it doesn't matter if I have a mountain in play. I'm not gonna play this as a mountain. I want the life gain. I'll just kill Chandra. Actually, maybe I will play it as a mountain. Yeah, maybe I will play it as a mountain, just so I have Path to Exile up, just in case they play some random creature I have to deal with a Bone Crusher Giant or something. I'll just play this as a mountain. I can still play this through Vile, and I'll put a Sword of Fire and Ice in play. The board seems very comfortable. Core Tribal is going to pull through. I wonder if my title makes people think I'm playing Death and Taxes. Alright, Ren and 6. Really not that dangerous. Although it can kill Metallic Mimic. Deal 1. I sort of just want to play this Metallic Mimic and just get some value out of it by, like, I don't know, double blocking the Bone Crusher Giant. It's like not the most exciting value, but I mean this Metallic Mimic isn't worth very much or anything right now. And I'd rather save myself some life. If I block with this bigger Stoneforge Mystic, it'll be harder to block all these other things in the future, because Ren and 6 can always just snipe it down. Why call Germ? It's gonna die. It doesn't really matter what I name. Oh, Germ for the memes? Don't think our opponent can do a whole lot. We got the Path to Exile back up. We're definitely going to race this stupid illusion creature. I mean, we've got a two-turn clock here. As is the case in this league, when I draw one Vial, I draw all of them. I'm just gonna attack our opponent. I don't think our opponent can gain any life, so I'll just snipe off some of their mana, if that helps. Oh, do they have Seasoned Pyromancer? Yeah, they do. Not that that should matter very much. Oh, of course, Skyfisher. Interesting. I can bounce this back to my hand and gain some life. Or even bounce Stoneforge Mystic and get Batterskull, or I don't know, the Last Sword or something. Very important in this league is that Maul of the Skyclaves was in our deck. Like, that's been, like, so key. It's like the perfect amount of evasion. That's actually true. I can activate Stoneforge Mystic and then get the equipment, but I need a few more Ether Vials on 2. Okay. Because what it is, I can activate Stoneforge Mystic, hold priority, put the Skyfisher in play, put the Stoneforge Mystic back into my hand, then replay it with another Ether Vial activation, get Batterskull. Then after all that resolves, then my Stoneforge Mystic activation resolves. Okay, Core Firewalker, going to be amazing. Disenchant, playable. Pithing Needle, also playable. It can hit Ren and 6, Arbor Elf, Chandra, and maybe Scavenging Ooze. I think that's it. Cards I don't like. Metallic Mimic, really weak. A lot of tokens on the ground. Kitesail Cleric, also not exciting. Relief Captain, I guess, is okay. Pithing Needle cannot stop Exert. It's a triggered ability. Actually, I don't know if that's a triggered. No, I don't. It's not. It doesn't have the tap thing. I don't know. I don't think it stops it. Actually, I'm second guessing myself on Disenchant. Maybe this is not that good. But frankly, everything else sucks. I think we should have an okay game. I mean, Core Firewalker might just shaft them by itself. Core Firewalker looks like such a beating against them. Play this Core Firewalker. They can't bolt it. They can't stomp it. They can't anger the gods it. Core Firewalker is amazing. You know, I never when I played Stoneforge Mystic and Merfolk, it was actually pretty shitty because there's just no way of dealing damage. But now that there's Maul of the Skyclaves, this changes my opinion a lot. Maybe I should try Stoneforge Mystic again. I haven't played Stoneforge Mystic since Maul of the Skyclaves came out, and this is a very serious card. I mean, I'm grabbing this card like on par with as many times as I'm getting Batterskull. Like, this is just such a useful utility card. This hand's awkward. But I'll keep it. I'm on the draw, so let's just hope we draw a good 2-drop. Oh yeah, don't get blown out by Stomp mid-combat. That's true. Go, go, Giver of Runes. We sort of have a second white, but I don't know how we cast Core Skyfisher. I'd be a little bit surprised if they kept Blood Moon in. I mean, it's not ridiculous. It shuts off Mutavault and Silent Clearing and, you know, the other utility lands. Alright, Giver of Runes down. It's just a Skyfisher on turn 2 is pretty clunky. It's a clunker. Oh, that's a perfect draw. For a perfect deck. Or we'll get Batterskull. Because now if they Blood Moon us, whatever, who gives a fuck? And just play our lands out into Batterskull. No, we just need a Firewalker, and we are invincible. Seasoned Pyromancer. Discarding a bunch of lands. So if you discarded the lands, do you have any lands left? We just drew another land, which is good. I don't know if... What if you get the fucking dragon? I can't really beat a dragon. Okay, I know. Okay, I'm gonna... This is weird, but this is the most mana-efficient line that I see. I'm gonna play... Skyclave Apparition. Hit the Arbor Elf, and then next turn I can put a Batterskull and play Core Skyfisher in play, and then bounce my Stoneforge Mystic back. Not that I'm trying to be mana efficient, I'm also just trying to tempo out my opponent. And they dumped a bunch of mana, so maybe they don't have as much land as they did before. Or I could even Core Skyfisher and bounce Skyclave Apparition. We got options, people. We got options. But Batterskull with a Maul of the Skyclaves on it is pretty sexy. In my opinion. Oh, something gonna die. It's gonna be Stoneforge Mystic. Well, I definitely want Chandra dead, so I'm gonna attack the Skyclave. I'm gonna attack Mutavault. Got another one of these. I think I'm gonna attack Mutavault. And Skyclave Apparition into this Chandra. Because this is just too much card advantage. No, they're gonna go after our mana, which is totally fine. I'll just play Stoneforge Mystic, get another bat. Oh, I shouldn't have shown the planes because I sort of want to induce them to get like play a Blood Moon or something. I'll get Sword of Fire and Ice. Card seems fine too. If they go like Stoneforge Mystic and Bloodbraid Elf into like Arbor Elf, we're like in such good shape. Okay. Oh! Get the Core Firewalker. Huh. This is the same league. Some matches took forever. I think I'm going to play the Core Firewalker, and then we'll just pass. Oh, that was dangerous. I should have played my land pre-combat. Okay, I'll just pass. If they attack with Bone Crusher Giant, I'll just put the Batterskull in play. Attempt to block. Okay, I guess they don't have Bolt. They had such a good start. I have no idea how we got here. Look at it, we're just playing with fucking white cards, and somehow this is good enough. Top 8 game between Kowalski and Shenhar was restarted twice at the Pro Tour. Oh god, that is strange. They must have like 2 Glorybringers in hand, given that they're not doing anything. Well, Pillage is sorcery speed, so... They might have a Braid. So we'll see if they have a Braid. I'll put the Sword of Fire and Ice on the core Firewalker. Because this has pro red already. That's okay. Oh no! Oh god! What have I done? What have I done, people? What have I done? Okay, we're winning horribly anyway, so. Let's just attack with our fucking germ token. What happened? What happened, chat? What happened? Something happened. Maybe they're gonna block with their Bone Crusher Giant, sure. Play Silent Clearing and pass. In shame! In shame. They did have a braid. Why don't you want to braid this? Okay, so it appears that my blunder didn't even matter. So do they have a second to braid? Well, they can't have. They might have pillage this turn. Which in that case, we can play Core Skyfisher, get our Stoneforge Mystic back, find another fucking equipment to put on the battlefield. Maybe Light and Shadow? To get, I don't know, another Stoneforge Mystic to get them all of the Sky Claves? Okay. What a weird game. This is going to be an incredibly long VOD. Someone who's desperately wants to play with, like, core tribal are going to be very happy, I guess, either way. I might draw Stoneforge Mystic anyway. Yeah, let's just play it. No, hold on, no, cancel. Do I want to do this? I could just put the Batterskull on the fucking core Firewalker and go to town. Okay, what can I get? I can get Maul of the Sky Claves. Let's just get Maul. Let's just equip this thing. This creature's basically invincible. Yeah, the core master. I do have the option to also bring back the core Skyfisher back to my hand if I need to. Okay, there's Bloodbraid Elf. Pretty useless right now. Oh, pillage! What in the time of need? All right. We're still in pretty good shape though. Opponent's attacks are not very good. But I am running out of equipment. I guess I have 2 more equipment left in my deck. Okay, which one of these? This one gains 3 life. Return up to 1 target creature card from my graveyard to my hand. Unfortunately, there's not a lot of useful creatures to go get. I'll get Maul of the Sky Claves. It's a 2-turn clock. And then, activate this. Put it on the core Firewalker. Yeah, the core Matador. Nahiri is Stoneforge Mystic. As far as I know. There can be creatures before they found their spark and became a planeswalker. Alright, now let's recycle our Stoneforge Mystic to get the last equipment if we really need it. Pass. Alright, spinning the wheel in that Bloodbraid Elf again. But probably it's over at this point. Unless they can find something that gains life. This Flying Core Firewalker is unstoppable. Lightning Bolt not going to do it. My opponent just says core tribal in chat. I think they've just figured it out. It's all core creatures. It's all core creatures. They said nice deck and well played. Well, it's sort of like Death and Taxes, except no taxing and a lot less death. Or I guess there is death, just no taxes. All right, we're gonna get him with the core. We're gonna get him with the core Firewalker. Again, Maul of the Skyclaves. Maul of the Skyclaves, people, really good. Have you ever wanted to try Legion's End in blue-black? No, not really. Not particularly. It's to the exile everything in play and then, or exile the 2-mana spell in play. You'll definitely see this. They can't wait to see the footage. The behind the scenes. There are dead core. So we're gonna go 3-2, which is not bad. The only downside to this deck, it takes forever to win the game. Because like, I mean, we've got like really weak creatures for the most part. I mean, we're sort of in the same category as Death and Taxes, where we just got these random creatures and we have really hard ways of pushing through damage. All right, so let's go back to the deck. What worked, what didn't. And now, so this was VNX's deck. And VNX, I'm going to repeat again, like what we said. What I was talking about before. We should not have Metallic Mimic or Relief Captain in the deck. And the way I would improve this deck, I would go 4 Core Firewalker in the main deck, just to really screw our opponents over. Okay, hold on, do I need more Core Firewalker? I need more Core Firewalker. Quantity 0. Oh. Too many E's. Oh, I have it in the sideboard. That's right, I can't have any more. So I would have 4 Core Firewalker in the main deck. And I know this is not a core, but I would desperately want to have Flicker Wisp in this deck. Desperately! It would be great. It would be so good in this deck to just play like Flicker Wisp, flicker your Stoneforge Mystic, flicker your Skyclave Apparition, have Vial on 3, just flicker whatever you have in play, flicker their land at their upkeep for tempo, flicker your Batterskull, put it back into play as a 4/4 creature. I would really think that this would give this deck a huge boost, like a massive boost. Now, another thing, I think Winds of Abandon is actually underrated in this deck. This actually is really good. I don't know how to squeeze any more in, because I don't want to change any of the other numbers. Oh, I would not play Sword of Light and Shadow. I just think that that's just not necessary. Like, against... Anyway, I would just play with a Sword of Feast and Famine. It would give you more mana, and in some cases, getting your opponent to discard their cards is more important. I don't need the life gain from it, so all you're doing is trying to get creatures from the graveyard. But ideally, if you got your game going on, you're just blinking and flickering all your stuff for value anyway, and you don't need to get anything back from the graveyard. And it's hard. because you bring stuff back from the graveyard, then you have to spend the mana on this. I like this because if you connect, then you get to untap all your lands, you get to play more stuff. This is like a tempo victory, and in some ways I think it is better. I don't know if you need pro white against things, because if they have white spells, they might be able to interact with your stuff anyway with Skyclave Apparition. 3 path, 1 wins. Actually, I know I don't want more path. I like the Winds of Abandon, because we get into these board states where maybe we have a lot of mana and we have something to do with it, so that we got the board clogged, which happened very often with this deck. Very, very often. But the weak link was Metallic Mimic and the Captain. The Captain is just doesn't have anything to put counters on by the time it comes into play, because there's so much removal. And if it does have stuff to put counters on, I don't think it's even that relevant for the most part. Metallic Mimic is a little bit better, because we did get some situations where we had like a 2/4 Clave Cleric. It definitely helped, but probably a Core Firewalker might have been just as good in its spot. Then that means we have some space in the sideboard. Why do I have 14 cards here? Oh, it's because... Right, I only had 3 Core Firewalker in this deck overall. Aren't these Rangers fetching creatures good? What do you mean, which Rangers? And there are more synergistic cores? I don't know. You know, honestly, I never looked at the other colors. Rule and Rule 2.0? You know, when I was looking up the core creatures, I was just looking up only mono white. Shit, there's a lot of rule. I don't know what you're talking about, Vish. Oh, Ranger of Eos? Ranger only grabs 1-drops. And then there's Captain Ranger. Captain Ranger of Eos also only grabs 1-drops. So this is not really that applicable. Something I never did, though, was like look for creature, core, and then look at anything that's anything else, really, at most. And then what? I guess I just have to look at modern. Where's modern? Legal and modern. CMC, let's just say less than 4. I never looked at... Is this literally it? Did I look at this wrong? Is the only non-white core this? A looter? Hold on, let me look up, let me... What's the default? Exactly these colors? Including these colors? I don't have anything. Okay, this is a core. Maybe there's more core at... Okay, we have like death... Like this is a fucking... This looks pretty good. Death touch. Sacrifice another creature. You gain life equal to its sacrifice creature's toughness. Like a 2/3 for 2 mana is not bad. Sacrifice another creature. Exile target. Non-land permanent. Activate this ability only if you have at least 10 life more than your starting life total. That's not that good. Is that the only non-white core? Then there's a blue core. That's it, I guess. Not much to work with. It's a mostly mono white. Core are super white, I guess. Then we have this legendary one. Whenever you attack a player with 1 or more equipped creatures, draw a card. And then for 1 white, you may unattach an equipment from a creature you control. If you do, tap that creature and it gains indestructible. Like, that's not use. That's just too dirtily, in my opinion. But 2 mana for a 2/3 with Death Touch. It's not bad. It's not bad. And like even with pay 1 sacrifice, it's not too bad either. But it's not much of a blink. It's no ETB or anything like that. So if I were to adjust the deck, I would adjust it like this. Maybe I could actually take out Kitesail Cleric for something else. I don't know. It's not the greatest. There's, again, no blinking for ETB. I don't find that the tapping my opponent's creatures is even that reliable. You get 2 cards off of Fire and Ice? I don't understand. Pyre of Cores? I don't want to sacrifice my cores. I want to keep the cores on the battlefield. Well, I think this deck would do very well against Burn Prowess and Death Shadow. I think I would crush those decks. So, okay, if I had any other improvements, I would definitely try to shore up some of the combo matchups, like maybe preventing my opponent being able to search their library. Like, isn't there like a 3-mana, 2/3? Your opponents can't search their library or no, they can't play more than one spell every turn. Maybe that's what I'm thinking about. Like, that might be fine against certain combo-based decks. Not that you have to beat all the combo decks, but I mean, I don't mind conceding the creature combo decks, but I certainly want to beat other versions of combo decks. Did fairly well versus other creature-based matchups, but kind of hard versus combo. Yeah, the big mana will be difficult. Big mana will just be difficult. There's just not much we can do about that. Except hopefully, like, I can dream of tempoing them out a little bit with Flicker Wisp. I honestly don't think it's gonna. There's a whole lot I can do in that situation. Archon of Emeria. I mean, maybe I don't need Devout Lightcaster after I put like more core Firewalkers in the main deck. I'm sure it's fine. I mean, this did come up. This actually did see play. Okay, what does this thing do? Each player can cast more than one spell each turn. Non-basic lands your opponent's control enter the battlefield tapped. I think this is a better Eidolon of Rhetoric. Or I don't know about better. Okay, we can get rid of one Devout Lightcaster. And then this looks solid. This looks pretty solid. Or again, if there's something I can replace this 1-mana thing with, I don't know. But there's just not much else. This is probably another one of the weaker cards. I love the core Skyfisher. I love the Clave Cleric. I love the core Firewalker. I love the Clave Apparition. And I love Maul the Skyclaves in this deck. And then to improve the Tron matchup, I mean, maybe I should just play more lands. Like, just to be brutal. Maybe I should have 3 path and play another land instead. I still have 28 creatures. Like, what? I honestly, like, there was never a game where I was unhappy flooding out. I will say this deck feels so mana hungry because you need to you want to like activate your Stoneforge Mystic. Now I understand why Death and Taxes play so many lands. You want to activate your Stoneforge Mystic. I want to play this, bounce something, replay it the immediate turn. I want to have Winds of Abandon for a lot. Like, a lot more than just... Like I want to overload this thing. It looks great. So actually, maybe that's the correct adjustment. We, like, go up on lands. Giver of Runes did a lot too, but I feel you missed a few good chances of use, like versus Boggles. Yeah, for sure. Well, Giver of Runes is great. Definitely good. And then maybe 3 path and 2 Winds of Abandon is very good. Or maybe that's the sweet spot. Maybe that's the right number. It's not out of range that maybe we have even another equipment in this deck. I don't know. Because we can like bounce. No, maybe not. Like Death and Taxes also flickers their Stoneforge Mystic. And they only play so many equipment. But if I were to change it, I would make it... So we're basically more blinky value-y and less on the taxes of a Death and Taxes deck. Even though they look very, very similar. But we are a white base deck, so we can leverage stuff like this. And the Chalice of the Void was great. And then pending the metagame, you just put Chalice in the main deck and put Path to Exile on the sideboard. Well, Sword of Light and Shadow is what we played, and I think it's just garbage. First off, we don't need the life gain, so half of that sword is useless, and the second half is very difficult to use, because let's say we're up against a red base deck that's shooting down all our stuff and puts our creatures in the graveyard. So, and I think that's the problem. Let's say we're up against a red base deck, then you don't even want Sword of Light and Shadow anyway, because they're just going to burn your creatures, right? So when you bring in Sword of Light and Shadow for the matchups that have black and white removal, particularly the white removal, your stuff is exiled anyway, so you don't have anything to bring back from the graveyard because they're playing Path to Exile, they're playing Skyclave Apparition. The Sword of Light and Shadow actually doesn't have any useful utility against the decks that play white. So that's how I felt the entire league when I was playing with Sword of Light and Shadow, and I just wished it was another sword. What are the other swords? Like, maybe they're, like, this is fine, but maybe I would like something more in the range of what Sword of Fire and Ice does. But this is fine, like, because, again, this deck is mana hungry, like, super hungry. It's starving for mana. Can we fit a few Thalia in there? No, actually, I don't really like Thalia. I'm trying to stay away from 1 toughness creatures as much as we can. This is the only 1 toughness creature I'm willing to have in this deck because it's just outrageously useful. On Thin Ice? Maybe. I can't play On Thin Ice. I don't have that many snowlands. I have snowlands, but like, this is not a snowland. This is not a snowland. This is not a snowland. Like, if you play On Thin Ice, you better have 14 ways of getting a snowland on the battlefield, or at least 12. There's gonna be a lot of games where I have On Thin Ice and I have no snow permanent. Yeah, VNX is in the right boat. You got to run Dismember before you run On Thin Ice. But anyway, I mean, these would be my adjustments. So if you want to know how I would make the deck better, like I said in private when I was helping build this deck, I knew the Metallic Mimics and the the Metallic Mimics and the Captain were like hands down the worst cards in the deck. Ended up being exactly the case for the most part. That Captain almost had a moment, almost. Just too hard to use for the most part. And I would just go for this. And it's really not that bad. Like, this is an all-star in Pauper, right? There's no reason that it can't be an all-star here. And, like, we get to use with other really great core cards. And I understand, like, there's no... It's, like, awkward synergy. Because, like, this could have been thrown in a Death and Taxes deck, too. But, I mean, I still think it's... I don't know. I guess the core, they just have these singular powerful cards. You just play these damn things. The league was actually pretty good. We went 3-2, only losing to harsh combo decks. And certainly we could adjust the sideboard to help against some of those combo decks. Why are we not playing Rest in Peace? It doesn't matter. Who needs Rest in Peace? We're just exiling stuff anyway. We exile all the cards. We can live without Rest in Peace. Just trying to think of any other anti-combo cards that we could play. Nah, this is probably fine. All right, everyone. This is going to be it for today. Thanks for joining me. And... oh, no, this is still... oh, God. I'm going to have to cut the... I'm going to cut the recording short. But anyway, so... yeah, thanks for showing up. We're going to thank all my patrons, Twitch subscribers, everybody supporting the channel. We're also going to thank our sponsors, Fusion Gaming Online and Mana Traders. This has been Nikachu, Merfolk Master, playing Mono White Core Tribal in Modern.